Hi everyone, this is Nightfighter22 here. I hope you guys are all well. I'm just playing some live 5-minute chess. Okay, so we're playing Letty from Germany. We're going to go with the French defense today, so e4, e6. He'll probably play d4 now, and at which point we play d5. d4, d5. This is standard French defense. e5 is the most common move from here. Okay, c5. This is the mainline French defense. c3, Yuri knows his stuff. We're going to go ahead and play knight c6. Bishop e3, queen b6, attacking b2. Okay, take b2. Now he's got to move the knight to avoid the rook, but then we can take here as well. Okay. Rook c1 might be on the cards, at which point we're going to have to do some shifting about with the queen. Probably just drop the queen back to a5 and continue the pressure on d4, to be fair. Nope, but he hasn't done that. So what, we win yet another pawn? Okay. So we're 3 pawns up. That's a good start, isn't it? Also, bishop b4 could be annoying. He's not going to take back because he'll lose a piece. Okay, now he's played his bishop back there. All we can do now is play queen a5 and threat that other pawn. So if he takes back here, then obviously we can take on a2. And the other thing is here that this pawn is also weak. I'm going to go and trade that off for now. There we go. So we're still 3 pawns up. He might be annoying again and put his rook back on a1, at which point we're going to have to put our queen back on c4, attacking the unprotected bishop. But bishop b4 is on the cards. After we've done that, we're going to get our knight to e7, and then hopefully castle kingside. That sounds like a decent plan to me. He's taken the bishop. Am I missing something? Why did he take the bishop? It helps us. That was our weaker bishop. Oh, has he found a pothole? I mean, yeah, it denies us of our castling rights, but he's already down material. Okay. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. So let's go ahead and play queen. King d8. He's probably just mocking us because we can't castle. Yeah. Right. Let's get this bishop out of here now. Next thing we need to do is develop our dark square bishop. Okay. The good thing is I don't think he can put us in check again. No. He's gonna have to defend. He's gonna have to move that now. You know, it's usually me that's down material in the attacking position. Right, let's move our king back. That was a lot of ferrying around with the king, eh? Okay, sure. If we can trade queens, this position might still be good for us. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Was his plan worth that 5 points in material? Because he's down 3 pawns, and he's traded a rook for a bishop. So it's not like he's completely down. Right, let's get this bishop off the table. I don't really know what he can do to stop the bishop trade now. Bishop a5 is taken by the queen. This is all taken. That's taken. So it looks like he's going to have to take our bishop, which will be good for us. My rating probably should be a bit higher than this. I've won quite a lot of the games I've played recently, but getting back into chess, it usually takes a while. So this rating is steadily going up. My tactics I'm over 1500 now, so I'm happy about that. Right. If we can trade queens, that would be good. But there's no point in just playing that because he moves the queen away. Then the bishop's attacking that. Where can he go with his queen? Not really many places at the moment. He could attack our rook somewhere, I presume, but then we can play... No, but then the queen is... Could do that. Because then we've still got to threaten the bishop, right? That's much better than getting it there. Oh, yay. Queen trade galore. And now we're up. Now we're up pieces. And it doesn't matter so much anymore that we have an uncastled king. Because, obviously, well, it just doesn't matter because we don't need it as much because we now play king d7 because there's not so many threats without the queens there. Okay, so he's attacking that one. I'm going to play that one up. We want to get as many of our pawns on the dark squares, ironically. Okay, calm down, calm down. He's got to be careful of back rank mates. He does have to be careful of back rank mates. Right, okay. Get knight e7 and then swing this rook over. We need to try and get these pawns on the dark squares as quickly as possible, as he's got a light square bishop. Remember, if these pawns are on the dark squares, there's literally nothing he can do about, about attacking them. The fact he's got a knight is quite useful, though. Yep, I'm trading. When you're up material by 5 points, it's really wise just to trade, because it makes life so much easier. Let's attack his pawn. These pawns aren't really in any danger at the moment. The only problem is now we're gonna have to trade. That was a mistake because we've now lost a pawn. Because I can play that, he will take there. But there's nothing we can do about this pawn because if we push it up, then the knight's taking it. So we lost a pawn there. So well done. Now we can threaten mate. We can push this pawn up. He hasn't really got much chances left with his pawns. Check. He's going to have to move his king away from this pawn now, and we can push it up again. He'll probably just take it with the bishop, to be fair, because this is getting pretty deadly. If he does that, we'll just take. No, okay. Here. We can win a piece. Remember, if we ever take back here, we'll take back with check, so we'll win both minor pieces. So, for example, if knight takes here, then we can take with check. The king will move, and then we can take the bishop. Okay? Well, that doesn't make life any different, really. You can trade if he wants to. Okay. Right, now it's a case of putting these pawns up. He can't move his king onto the second rank, which is very useful. Get all these pawns on dark squares. Except we can't move that one because that's on a light square. Okay, there we go. You see, he's done pretty well because he has managed to win back 2 pawns. So I'm quite impressed with him, to be fair. Okay. Let's just move these pawns up, get them on the dark squares. The other thing is he's under a lot of time pressure, and we've both got plenty of time. Okay, that's not much of a threat. We can push up to f5 and maybe have another trade there. His king might try and sneak around, but I think that would just take too much time. Nah, there's not much really he can do anymore. If ever he does that, then there's always a way for us to get our rook back. Okay. Well, we have the extra pawn and we have the more powerful piece. Takes. Yeah, he's going to lose on time though, unfortunately. We won't be able to get a checkmate in. Unless he moves really quick. Yeah, it's all over for him now. Yeah, there we go. So I won on time, but the game would have progressed. What would have probably happened actually is he would have ended up keeping his bishop there. He would have just made a random move like that. I would have moved with the king, and then there's not really. Yeah, he would have probably just and again made another random move, and then he would have then he would have stopped me from pushing the pawn up. So I would have had to keep checking him until he completely moved away. Such as, let me think. I get him completely away. Well, that would be mate. But something like that would have probably happened. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video, everybody. Please leave in the comments what you'd like me to do next. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.